kind of came up with the help of a friend. And I'll explain more about it. The original incentive was to do the refuse ending, so we will still be doing that, but with Hoggers percent. But before we get into the run, I am not alone. I have my emotional support wizard with me here, Empire Ship. MP, thank you so much for jumping on last second for comms.
Hi, I'm MP. I've been behind the scenes for most of this weekend. If you donated, I probably looked at it with my eyes. And now I'm here. So I'm really grateful to be here, watching one of the most amazing games that I've seen from start to finish in terms of development. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get jumping into the game. Actually, hold on. We're seeing a few potential issues. I want to make sure that our fabulous host is heard, and I don't think that they were. So hey T, let's try this again. I know the folks really would love to hear that fabulous intro. If you're up to doing it one more time here.
Sure, I appreciate you. Yeah, and let the people know that my name is T3. You are here watching Prevent-a-Thon 4, and this, of course, being Nightmare Kart. I had a little something along the lines of, "Kart well, good hunter. May you find your worth in the racing world." How's that sound to everybody out there?
I loved it. Thank you, T, for doing that. But yeah, this is Nightmare Kart. We'll go ahead and I'll get everything loaded up because we are doing Hoggers percent. I will show you exactly what we're doing, but we have to load a already completed save file, essentially. So I'm going to go ahead and load up this first slot. This is essentially like a new game plus type of run, and I will show you exactly what you donated for here as we get in. We're going to select a kart, and as you can see, I have all of the karts that are available in the game unlocked. Personal favorite right here, the Astro Mono gear. I just love how it looks. But this is what we are going to be driving. We are going to be driving a giant boar. So as you can see, there are 3 main stats for every kart. There's the handling, the size, and the weight. Top speed, I will explain when we get into the run. But as you can see, this is the worst kart in the game. The lowest handling, the highest size, and the highest weight. The size especially makes a difference, as you see when we get into the run. But so we have the giant boar selected, and we are ready to go with our first race here on the Pocket Dream circuit. So if everybody is ready, we're going to count down from 3. So 3, 2, 1, yag!
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Good luck, my friend.
So, Nightmare Kart, or as we love to call it, legally distinct Bloodborne Kart. Nightmare Kart was started as a April Fool's gag.
The scampers.
Yes.
Oh god, I love it. Sorry, go ahead.
Nightmare Kart was started as an April Fool's gag off of the hey, the blood drop is perfect. Off of the PlayStation 1 era demake of Bloodborne. I am getting some bad bounces there. That's part of that's going to be part of this is managing the size of the boar throughout the run. But this was a PS1 demake version of Bloodborne. The game was made for New Year's, a New Year's joke, or April Fool's Day joke, excuse me, and it gained so much traction that Lilith, the solo developer, decided, hey, we're going to stick with it, and created the entire game. For the longest time, it was still known as Bloodborne Kart. Oh my goodness. It was still known as Bloodborne Kart, but was hit with a cease and desist by Sony, so it had to be legally distinct. And if there are any Bloodborne fans here in the crowd, you will recognize some of the looks of some of the bosses, but the names are changed to protect the innocence of those involved. We are also getting...
Yeah, there's probably Sorry, I was just gonna say, there's probably somebody out there who has only ever played Bloodborne, no other game, and is watching this and is saying, wow, getting a lot of Bloodborne vibes from this one.
We are also getting really bad RNG here. If we lose this, it's fine. I can restart the race real quick, and we might have to. It's a very short race, and that's why we have the extended. I'm gonna go ahead and restart it because of the really bad RNG. This happens in Nightmare Kart. The RNG patterns are very, very rough sometimes. So we just got a bad case of the AI had weapons when they were around other kart racers, and they just continued to use them. And that's just...
I was going to say, it's almost like you're playing a kart racer where a certain amount of chaos
absolutely.
is just baked
and
in.
It's what makes it kind of worse, quote unquote, is that the AI is absolutely programmed to use items if they are nearby an enemy. Some racing games are just like, oh, we only use, XYZ item. No, this will use every item that it gets a hold of at any point in time. So you will actually see opposing karts die during races, potentially.
So you would describe the AI as... So anyways,
Yeah,
I started
pretty
blasting.
much. Anyways, they started blasting.
Very good.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. I don't like the Gatling gun here, but I do want a health transfuser. So one of the main tricks of this game is the health transfuser gives us a bit of iframes when we use it, and especially if we're in first place, we want those iframes to help stop the the equivalent of the blue shell from hitting us, because it is a 4-second time loss if we do get hit. As you can see, the AI spun out by getting hit with that. Galaxy's End is what the weapon is called. It sends out a bunch of stars and hits the opponent. So we're okay getting past. We're on the final lap. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of gaming to.
You do a little bit
one
of
more
gaming.
time. Yeah, from the top.
From
One more
the top.
time. If this fails, I will just move on to the next race, which will not be a problem. This is it's a slight audio bug that gets fixed and fine. The main thing that we're looking for here when we're not in first place is actually going to be the blood droplet item. Blood droplets are very analogous to the coins in Mario Kart, the Wumpa fruit in Crash Team Racing. They are the source of our top speed. You can see that on the bar on the bottom left-hand corner. The big red bar is our top speed. That is adjusted by the blood droplets. We get blood droplets from items and also from killing monsters on the courses. This is actually looking to be how this run should be done. So now we're gaming. Computer's catching up a little bit. They must have got a chipper chain wheel that will increase your top speed and allow you to run over anybody that you hit. So we're going to keep a hold of the transfuser and eventually make it through this shortcut without bumping into the wall at some point because of the size of the giant board.
Yeah, this thing is like, it's the heaviest weight, it's the worst handling, but this thing runs on hog power instead of horsepower, and it's got that going for it.
You can't... It's got that hog in it. You can't quite see it because of the angle of the camera, but it does actually shoot fire out of its hooves when you are boosting. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Also...
Isn't there also...
The chain gun weapon, the minigun, actually is held in its tusks. You can see the weapons being held by the drivers, but Lilith couldn't fit in the minigun while creating the giant boar, so she just had the boar hold onto the minigun in its tusks.
That's where all boars hold their guns in real life.
Yeah, it's a built-in gun rack. Why wouldn't you?
All right.
Yeah. I was going to say, so like, full disclaimer, I've never played Bloodborne Kart or Nightmare Kart, nor have I never played Bloodborne, but I have watched a good chunk of its development from start to finish. Wasn't there at one point, or maybe there still is a dedicated
Yes.
oink button?
No, there
am I
is a
thinking of something
dedicated
else?
oink button, and that actually leads me to a fun little fact. As I have cat hair, excuse me. So there is an achievement system that was recently released with updates. Yes, Lilith is continuing to update this free game. One of the recent updates included the Steam achievements that she hand created and worked on for quite a long time to get them all to work. One of the achievements is called Hoggers, and it is done by honking with the giant boar 100 times over the course of your play. And I received word from Lilith directly that she named that achievement after this meme category that I run and so, for better or worse, love. So,
You know, we talk a lot about supportive devs. That's genuinely just a different level. Like, beyond what they do for what she does for the community in terms of keeping the game updated, interacting with people in the community that much, and like validating your silly ways of playing the game. That's super awesome.
Lilith loves the community
and
very much.
she's good people. And again, this game is free on itch and Steam. You can go and download it with your own computer, and you too can ride on the hog.
You could be doing that
This
right
game
now while
will
you're
run
watching.
on just about anything because yes, it is technically on Unreal Engine 5, I believe, because of how the graphics are and how the gameplay is. This has a very low requirement, so just about any computer can play it. I highly suggest if you are a fan of kart racers, especially modern Mario Kart, but also Crash Team Racing, the early Crash Team Racing. I did not mean to drop that. I highly suggest you pick this up and give it a play because it is an absolute blast. It's genuinely probably my favorite game of 2024. And that's saying a lot because Metaphor ReFantazio just came out and I adore that game. I still love this so much. It is such a fun game.
Have we spoken much yet about like the actual enemies that litter the track and how that changes your course through
a little
each
bit.
lap?
The main thing is the enemies are there for blood droplets, and blood droplets, as I mentioned, are at top speed. So you can see my top speed right now is about 110-ish, I guess, like miles an hour. There are some diminishing returns the higher you go, but it does not diminish your boost top speed. So your boost speed will go much higher the more blood droplets you have. But outside of that enemy right there, the enemies just are scattered around, and you can take them out with weapons, run them over, and get the blood droplets for them.
Okay, so it's basically just a more involved version of finding the right lines to pick up coins in Mario Kart.
And you do have to be active and aware of some of them because some of them do carry weapons. There are skeletons in later tracks that have shotguns and rifles that can damage you during the race. We are actually into our first arena fight, so if you are a veteran of multiplayer Mario Kart, you'll recognize arena fights. We do have to kill 10 opponents here. So if we are looking for, on the bottom left-hand corner there, we're looking for skeleton died. Skeleton died means that my team got a kill and all is good. Any names is bad. That means that the AI got a kill on a teammate. So we don't want to see that. This is going to be much more difficult on the Hog because I don't have great control or vision over what I'm hitting. It's much easier on the Hunter Kart because I can actually see what I'm shooting at. I cannot quite see what I'm targeting, even with the white light on them targeting them. So I really have to make sure that I'm aiming where I need to. And
look, I don't know what to tell you. I'm from the south, and they're just saying there that sometimes you just got to get up on the hog and score some kills on some skeletons.
We got a couple here.
I'm always saying this.
Right?
So while we're going through this fight here, T. This actually is a fantastic time. If you've got anything to read here, this is a great time to do so.
Perfection. Was just about to ask. Yeah, I got plenty to read. There are so many excited fans of Nightmare Kart and of Hoggers in particular sending in their love. $5 from Tokuhiro saying, "Good luck, j0kerr. Your passion and support for this game is always a treat. You got this." We've $75 from, we did read this earlier as the incentive was met, but I wanted you to hear from the salty kerfuffle, who said, "Best of luck, j0kerr. Less than 3. And some friends from our last run sell with $8, 50 cents for every death in the Golf with Your Grandma run. Chat, I hope you love that run. And Joey, thank you for having me on comms. Let's keep raising money for Little Warriors, less than 3. And Joey himself, King J0kerr with $16. I don't know why I was allowed to do that, but I was. Hope everyone enjoyed Golf with Your Grandmother. And I'm sorry, but also you're welcome.
I don't think enjoyed is a word that I would use per se.
Experienced. It's one of those things where you have to sit with, do some meditation, really come to search your feelings and come to a conclusion on how you felt about it afterwards.
Yeah, I was definitely sitting here and looking at what was going on my screen.
Yep,
Father Gregory. Legally distinct
Absolutely.
Father Gascoigne.
So we are into our first boss fight of the run. This is Father Gregory. And this fight, there are boss fights in this game, and Lilith has done a fantastic job of translating a Bloodborne boss fight into a racing kart game boss fight. We are the first portion of this fight, and this is actually going really well so far. We will be chasing down Father Gregory and attempting to hit him as much as we can here, because it makes this phase coming up so much faster. Oh
my god, was that an accurate reference?
Yes, it was. All right, we got that.
I'm a sucker for the bike
Oh,
slide.
no,
I'm sorry. Every time I see
that,
it.
That was about the smoothest boss fight I've actually ever had. We hit him before the Gatling gun spawned, and that's really hard to do.
Nice.
And that's Father Gregory. So essentially we have the chase down sequence, which we can hit him through. Then we have the first arena fight where he kind of chases us around. We go and pick up the Moon Shard. That is crucial for the hidden boss fight at the end of the game, which is the Refuse category. So we pick that up. We whittle him down to about less than a third HP. He transforms, and then we shoot him down one more time. That was the best Father Gregory fight I have ever had, bar none. So very, very glad that it happened there. But we're on to Forbidden Forest. This is probably one of my favorite courses. If anything, because of the music does not sound like it belongs with this game.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of I don't know, like a Choco Mountain.
The Noble Demon did the music. They did a fantastic job, because it does emulate some Mario Kart racer, some Mario Kart music specifically.
Yeah, shout outs to them. Like, not just them, but also people who did the voice acting for this game, for the bosses, because they did such excellent work and then had to like go back in and redo a bunch of stuff to make sure that this could stand on its own as its own game. And just the heart and work that's put into it is really noticeable.
And like MP said, this game has full voice acted cutscenes. The voice actors did an amazing job with this game. Like I said, I highly suggest you go pick this up. And go download it, go play it here after the stream, because it is just a fantastic game. That is where
Do the hog spins confer any benefit?
Yes,
is that a
actually
speed
it
boost
is.
when you land?
It's a
Or does
mid-air
that-
trick. So
Excellent.
the carts can do mid-air tricks. Right now it's just the spin, but Lilith is working on some bonus carts here for DLC, free DLC, and yeah, free game by the way.
Free game, by the way.
And she is working on new tricks for I think existing carts and new carts. So we may see some different tricks coming up here in the near future. But yeah, that actually leads me, T, thank you so much, into explaining the boost system, because I didn't really explain the boosts. We have our normal boost button, which is powered by the Aether Vials that you can see in the top left-hand corner. We also can do drift boosts, very similar to Mario Kart to Crash Team Racing. The drifting is very similar to Crash Team Racing, has that feel of the classic PS1 era. I'm glad I get hit now and not coming up in a moment. But it has the vibe of Mario Kart, where you can hold the drift in the direction that you're going for an extended period of time, and you'll build up the drift naturally. But you can also flick the stick back and forth, and it will bump up the drift boost faster. You don't get to gain as many Aether Vials as you would if you were to hold the boost, but you can do essentially what Mario Kart does in snaking, of getting boosts on the straightaways by doing fast drift boosts, as long as you have stamina. We do have a health bar and a stamina bar, and the stamina is required for melee attacks and for drifts, or for boosts, excuse me. So as long as we have a little bit of stamina, we can do a boost. This started out a bit rough with all of the constant attacks here, but we've settled into a really nice position, and we're going to be able to slide right on through without a problem.
A kart racer that doesn't have rubber banding.
And
How about
that was one of the things I actually had asked Lilith about in one of her streams, and she said that she didn't necessarily like the idea of rubber banding. If somebody could get themselves out in front, they could just get themselves out in front.
So she just wanted to make an enjoyable game.
It does mean...
How about that?
That's
right?
a wild concept.
It does mean that there are the chances of getting hit with the blue shell, or the equivalent, more often than not, because of how the AI works, and because if you're so far ahead and they run into items, if they find it, that's what they're going to find, and that's what they're going to use. So we have to kind of play wary of that. We're on to the Medusa Sisters fight in the Forbidden Forest Arena. This has one of my favorite pieces of tech in this game, but it also gets very dicey when we do it. So I will explain it here after I pick up the Moon Shard that we just saw driving by. So we're going to go... Oh, no. We're not going to grab... Oh. We're going to...
Uh-oh. Your insight was stolen.
They got to it first, which actually is, I think, going to be okay, because I can still potentially pick it up here. If not, we'll run around and we'll get it eventually. Nope. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and just do that trick. So there is the option to respawn in the game. We will do it here in a... I got hit. I got attacked by a boar. And I just...
I was actually going to ask, hey, can your hog make friends with the other hogs? But apparently the answer is no.
That hog does not like us. Okay, good. We just made it. We're fine. Okay.
Real shame, just because then you'd have the ability to be running around with 30 to 50 feral hogs.
True.
Right, so we scored.
By the way, chat, I've been reading your very silly puns. I appreciate it.
Yep,
Right,
same.
so
Appreciate you.
And I'm sure if you wanted to donate with some of those very silly puns, he would love that as well.
Yes, please do, by the way. Also, this, again, RNG and the hog is making this fight a little bit worse than it needs to be.
I noticed. Mainly I noticed when your hog exploded.
The hog did explode.
like they do in real life.
But there was the instance of my favorite tech in the game, the respawn glitch. So we can actually use the respawn option while we're holding on to the insight. And while we're holding on to the insight, we will hold on, we will respawn with the insight in our hands and respawn by our base. The insight is coded as a weapon. When you respawn, you are holding weapons. If you are holding a weapon, you will respawn with that weapon. So we respawn and we hold on to the insight as we move forward. So we can typically score very quickly in this mode. The thing is the AI can get very aggressive when we do score. So we have to be very, very careful. We want to see the AI turn towards us so that we can go ahead and respawn essentially behind them. All right, we may have had an exploded boar. We're gonna have barbecue later, so don't worry about that. But we made it through the fight, and we have the moon shards. We have 2 of the 3 moon shards needed. We moved past the worst point of the game. It gets better from here on out. That fight is so rough because of the AI, and because you're 3 against 1, it gets really, really sketchy.
I don't know. I've been having a pretty good time so far. Honestly, j0kerr, I think you smoked it so far.
All right, now you're just ribbing me.
No, it's fine. This commentary team is very well seasoned.
I love it.
You know who else is interested in getting in on the action? Your fans and Kart fans out there who sent in some fantastic donations. Do we have a moment to read
so
them?
let me explain this course real quick. It's my favorite course it's my favorite aesthetic course because of going up the going into the clock tower itself. But the actual racing on this course is a little bit rough because we're going uphill. And because we're going uphill, we lose a lot of top speed. So we have to really be careful as we go through. But otherwise, it's a fun course. I do enjoy it. We're going to have to restart because of that. That jump, if we get hit during it, we drop straight down to the floor. So
Yeah.
Now that we've restarted, that actually is a perfect time, T-Tree. If you've got anything to read, you've got plenty of time to do so.
Okay, my friend, I appreciate it. We've got $5 from Alara to Little Warriors with the comment, "Nice! Made it back in time to watch Nightmare Kart. It's such a fun run. Break a leg, j0kerr." And hopefully not you or the hog, but in spirit, I understand. And Hockey Babbler, who's also sent in $5. Not to be a bore or to sow Discord, but should we really be encouraging this kind of picking out on stream? And a hog on a cart? That's sus as all heck. Stay cool, j0kerr. Binary breakers forever. I love everyone on this stream.
Babs.
Babs.
We love you
Why
too.
would you do this?
But also, yeah, whatever
To
you
me
said.
specifically.
Love you, Babs.
Do not make me come over there.
Or do.
I humbly request that we continue the puns going just because it will tilt MP, and that makes me very happy. Love you, MP.
No, but here's the thing: is I really am a hypocrite because I'm sitting here looking at all of this, you jumping through the various parts of the clock tower, and I'm like, wow, like you're doing parkour.
Good. All right, good. No, transfusion.
You-
This.
Okay, sus was also apparently a play on words because of the Latin word for wild boar is a sus scrofa.
I learned something
today.
Did not know that. That is like in-depth punnery. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm a
they
bit
put in
mad
the
that
work.
I didn't think of it as a knower of the Latin language.
I don't know if that makes us any better at speedrunning, but I'm glad I know it now.
We're finally encroaching on the last lap. This is definitely one of the tougher courses, especially with the boar, because there's some lines that I usually like to take with the normal carts, and because of the handling and the size of the boar, I can't quite take those lines. Looks like somebody died. So I have to kind of try to adjust on the fly, and it's a little bit, it's tough, but at the same time, it's still very fun because you're riding around on a boar. Like, how is that not fun? I'm really going to make sure I can try to get a transfuser just in case. Alright, we're hitting the jump. Okay, we're fine. I have lost runs to that jump on the third lap, getting hit by a blue shell without having the health transfuser available. So,
Oh yeah, no, the classic karting experience.
oh,
to be
absolutely.
sure.
This game pulls no punches with the AI and with the RNG. It can be very devastating, but also it's still just very fun. Dang it, we didn't get the glitch. So there's a really funny glitch in that jump. Sometimes the AI can drop through that teleporter, and we'll just fall into oblivion, and it will be spinning the entire time. The reason that it falls into oblivion, into the ether, is because there are no kill planes down there. Lilith realized there was a soft lock. If the cart dies during the outro section, you can actually soft lock the game and not be able to progress because it can't respawn.
Nice.
Because there's no actual active race for it to respawn into. So in that kill plane, there are no kill planes in that area specifically so that if the AI falls through, which it can do, it won't soft lock the game and it can continue. But because the AI is in the air, the AI will continue to spin because it's programmed to be in the air to spin to get the boost. So it's very fun to just watch it spin out over and over and over.
I mean, I get it. That's what I do when I go to sleep every night. I just fall and spin forever until presumably I wake up at some point.
You know, I'm noticing that your boar changes color based on the color team you're on. So right now you've got a red hog, and before you had a blue hog.
We've
got
hog,
j0kerr
two
in there,
hog,
amazing
red hog,
technicolor
blue
hog.
Okay, yeah, that's what you were. Got it. See, I was going Dr. Seuss, and you were going
red and yellow
musical.
and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach, and I'm not a musical nerd at all. Anyway, so this is the Angel Arena fight, by the way. We have started up another arena fight, but I like to call this Spawn Camp Simulator because what we've done here is we will kill an enemy and we'll sit outside of their spawn and just continue to gun them down. We have a special weapon called the Noble Pistol. The Noble Pistol has ammunition based on your Aether Vials. So it takes 4 Aether Vials to fire. It takes 3 hits, like a normal pistol, to kill an opponent. So we sit, we will do a break boost and spin it around in order to build up the Aether Vials, and we'll just use that, sit in front of the spawn, and kill the enemies as they spawn. Very easy fight, and a lot of fun. This one is a blood droplet fight, so it's a team battle. We are trying to get 4,000 blood droplets by killing monsters or opponents if they have blood droplets. I missed that, but that's okay. So we're gonna hang out over here where the werewolves are. We'll run them over, we'll shoot them, and we'll just continue to collect blood droplets. This is pretty much self-explanatory at that point. We might shoot some enemies if they come, or some like opposing racers if they come by us. But otherwise, T, this is another great opportunity. If you've got anything you wish to say, now is the time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talk a lot about what Little Warriors does and the importance of their mission, but the fact of the matter is that things like Be Brave's Bridge community programs are available to the general public to educate children and youth across Canada on multiple topics to help them navigate everyday life. And that's like to know that you can be part of Little Warriors programs and learn things about them. It's an online module-based program which provides information, resources, tools, and support services in an interactive, age-appropriate way, available for children 8 to 12 and adolescents 13 to 17. So, you know, if you're interested in those sorts of things, head over to littlewarriors.ca and you can learn more about how you can directly learn about and benefit from their programs.
Yeah, resources are very important to many people in need, so definitely worth taking a look at.
Absolutely. It's always fun to be a part of Prevent-a-Thon, and especially helping out Little Warriors. I really do hold Little Warriors near and dear to my heart because of Prevent-a-Thon. So I'm just very happy to be here to be a part of everything. All right, we are moving on. We're now in the Outsiders Mansion. Oh boy.
Things are
So I
happening
got the
on
chipper
my
chain
screen.
wheels, and as I mentioned earlier, the chipper chain wheels allows me to just run over enemies. It built up a decent amount of blood droplets actually because I hit a couple monsters, which is nice. But it does tend to make the camera go a little wonky at times, so we gotta be careful of that.
Gives you a very
Yeah,
good
we
look
did
at
get
the
a very
hog.
good look at the hog, and a weird angle.
You get to take a closer look at that snout.
This is my favorite course overall because it's so short. This is Baby Park at home. It is a lot of fun.
Why would you make me remember Baby Park?
It does have one of my favorite bugs that happens occasionally, and I hope I get to show it. It's an AI bug. That's a lot of fun. But you will remember Baby Park because Baby Park is best park. Yeah. Okay. Good. Transfuser. So
I'm a fan of Waluigi's Pinball,
You know,
personally.
I kind of enjoyed the Waluigi and the Wario courses, honestly. They were very wild, and I feel like they're underappreciated even though they're super long. But I don't know if we're going to see it here, but occasionally, if an AI gets hit in midair here, you do drop back down to the bottom floor. Thankfully, here on this course, it's not nearly as bad as the clock tower. But sometimes the AI will spin out, and then they'll drop down to this course, and wherever they are pointing when they're done, they will just continue on in that direction. So if they are pointing backwards, they will drive backwards until they can't continue to go forward, and then they'll eventually turn back around. It's funny, but also can be very scary when you have a giant boar with a shotgun running the other way towards you. Then it gets a little bit dicey because you can still get hit by that shotgun from point blank as like a drive-by going the other way.
Makes sense, but yeah, I'm not scared by a hog running at me with a shotgun. I'd win.
Yeah, you're from the South, aren't you, T?
It's true. That's just an average Tuesday.
It really is.
I also, we got a lively conversation going in chat, a recommendation to talk about favorite kart racing tracks from basically any game, including but not limited to Coconut Mall. So if you wanted to Coconut Mall the chat, exclamation.
Unironically,
if you wanted to for any reason.
Track. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. But exclamation point donate and send in a donation to, you could make me hum a few bars of Coconut Mall. I'd do that for you. Or tell us about your favorite kart racing tracks. j0kerr, how about you tell us about this kart racing track?
This is honestly one of my favorite boss fights in this game, to be honest with
you. First, don't Coconut Mall me, chat. Don't do it. Second, I actually really enjoy this fight as well because from what I've heard, it's actually very analogous to the actual, not Nicholas, I don't know the actual boss's name, Nicolaj. But it's very analogous to the Nicolaj fight, where you're chasing him down and around, and then you have an arena fight, lather, rinse, repeat. So I really do enjoy this. It's a fun boss fight. I'm hoping to get a specific setup here. We learned earlier this month, I ran this for another event, and Lilith actually joined me on the couch for commentary, and she mentioned that we've learned that you can get what are called visceral boosts on opponents. Typically in the racetracks, if you see somebody with a big X over their head, that's a target for a visceral boost. You can do that. Yes, you can visceral in this game. And you can do that to the bosses as well. Especially for Nicholas, it requires a specific setup. But you can visceral carts when they're drifting by hitting them as they're trying to drift. If you do it right, you'll see the X pop up, and that gives you a visceral.
I'm just disappointed that the answer to Ampy's question, you can visceral in this game, wasn't just Yeg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been severely underserving the Yeg portion on this run.
Yeah, can we get a $5 Yag train, please?
Yeg.
That's YEAG.
I think we can.
But yes, you can visceral in this game.
That's so cool.
That's
like, I know
great.
that this exists as its own game and everything, which is really cool. And I still also appreciate its ties to Bloodborne. And I really gotta say, this is the Dark Souls of kart racing.
You didn't have to. You did say that earlier while we were setting up, but
Yeah, and
I
now
appreciate that you went
can
with your heart and
subject everyone
decided to
else
say it on air. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeg.
Look, it's my commentary debut. We gotta come out swinging.
It's
Okay.
true.
So
That was a little scary.
Story time. That jump actually can be. You used to be able to miss that jump, and that was one of the bugs that we actually mentioned to Lilith. Was that hey, some of the jumps in the Nicholas fight, you can miss if you're not careful. That is one of them. So she adjusted the jump pads to allow you to essentially, especially in this fight, it sends you a fixed distance. So you will always hit that, you will always reach that, but it looks very, very scary. Also, we're going to fall into the abyss again because there's no kill planes here, because that's would have been another soft block. So,
Hey,
You can't
j0kerr.
see me. I'm pointing at my screen and saying, go there. Go in the void.
but we do get to use the teleporters there through the second portion of the fight, which is always fun. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the what I like to call, thanks to my friend Acadial, I like to call this Painbow Road. This is the This is Pocket Dream Course. This is the longest course in the game, and it is originally in my splits. This was Rainbow Road at home. And then Acadial,
Nice.
when I mentioned that, my friend Acadial was like, "No, this is more like Painbow Road," and so I just kept it because it's very good. We're
12
gonna
out of 10.
hope.
I do want to mention. Sorry.
No, go for it.
May
Go for
I?
it.
This is a fun fact. So now that we have fought Nicholas in game, and you got to see him run around the track like a silly little guy, I do want to mention that he is available as a racer, and with you when you races him, he also still continues to run around like a little guy, and is on par with the rest of these karts. And I just think that's beautiful.
So we actually just drove by him. So when you beat Nicholas in the campaign, you unlock his cart, and his cart is, as you can see just there to my left, it is the birdcage. It is literally just a birdcage on his head, and he will just run as his cart. It is fantastic. The specialty carts in this game are magnificent. 10 out of 10. There's a baby carriage. There's a wheelchair. There's that clock tower looking cart. It's wonderful. 10 out of 10 cart selection and choice in this game.
You know what else is really magnificent and wonderful? I've had a chance to see it. It's one of our upcoming incentives that is currently only $9 Canadian dollars away from being met. It is the Princess Peach Showtime crown that will be worn during that, like an actual physical crown that will be worn by the runner if we are able to meet that incentive. Y'all are making amazing progress toward it. Like I said, $9 left. If you want to see it for yourself, I think we might have it up on socials, ! Socials in the chat. Go take a look. If not, I'm sure we will be hopefully showing you on the stream very soon, because that's an early run tomorrow.
It is very cute. I'm not gonna lie. It is absolutely worth donating $9 for. Maybe even more than it is definitely worth more than $9. To be clear. Then you can put the rest of that 9 towards any of the other very fine incentives.
Oh, was she going backwards? She was almost going backwards. Meanwhile, I ran into the bad RNG, and I might have to restart this if I can't catch up. Which I'm not getting the speed that I need to be able to catch up, so we might have to sit through another dosage of Painbow Road here.
I guess we're going to learn why they call it that. Yeah.
This is exactly why I call it Painbow Road, is because, it does carry the whole, final course. It's harder than normal type of energy. And because I wasn't able to get a lot of blood droplets early on, and I'm continuing to get hit, I'm losing a lot of top speed. And because I did die, I lost all of the blood droplets that I did have to begin with. So we are riding the struggle bus right now. I'm going to go ahead and restart. This is why I do have the extended time, is because I know that we can run into these issues in this fight. We started up front.
Hey, no worries at all, friend. You're going to finish strong.
Yeah.
So I actually have a question. One that's actually relevant to the game and not a pun. Since you said that when you die, you lose all of your, whatever this game's equivalent blood echoes are, is there, like other Soulsborne games, do you have the ability to like go back and pick them up?
Yes,
when you respawn,
if they
or no?
are dropped, you can pick up blood droplets from opponents if they are still on the ground, and you'll see the icon in the top right-hand corner has looks like the sword with the little lines coming out of it. That's your blood droplets, and if you do see if you see a pool of blood with that symbol over it, those are blood droplets from an opponent or yourself that you can pick up, and it does go towards your current count. So there is the potential.
That's awesome.
If I had been able to find it, I could have picked up the blood droplets I'd already had.
That's probably more something that you see in games against people, not CPUs.
Not
you can't
yet.
play this game
Not
multiplayer,
yet.
by the way, right?
Online multi. You can play. Split screen. But they.
Yeah, I do know that you can do it locally.
So that's my apologies. Lilith is working on online multiplayer for next year. So that is something to definitely keep an eye out on. But yeah, you can find it typically in any kind of arena fight. Is where we'll probably see it more often than not. But yes, if no one picks it up here, which I would imagine somebody's picked them up. Yeah, somebody picked them up, but it will have the blood droplet symbol and just a pool of blood underneath, and we can run it over and pick them up. Like this. So whoever had that looks like 80 blood droplets. Not a whole lot, but it still is 80 more than I did have. So that will at least help push the top speed a little bit higher. And we are...
I really do like when number go up.
I love the number go up feeling of
true.
this. We're getting the not great RNG of we're not finding the actual blood droplet item, which gives us 150 blood droplets, which is a massive top speed boost. Everybody's killing the monsters, the creatures on the track before I can get to them. And we're just getting...
It's
killing
almost like
monsters in my
giving us
monster killing game?
It's almost like giving us the slowest cart in the game causes some additional complications.
Is because of the top speed mechanic, all of the carts have the same top speed to start. It is the other portions of the cart that are the worst, the size and the handling.
Fair.
But it...
Got it. Does it actually have like a bigger hitbox for incoming fire?
Size, because of the size, it does have a bigger hitbox. Oh my gosh, we are actually way far behind first place. That's okay. I believe we'll still be able to meet estimate here as long as I can catch up to them. And I'm hoping...
Hey, well, you work on that.
No, go for it. I was just going to say, I'm hoping that somebody finds a blue shell here soon.
Sure. Ooh, there's some Aether Vials. But yeah, I wanted to help chat celebrate the feeling of number go up as well. Because with a couple more donations, we have just met the Princess Peach wearing a physical crown during the run incentive. Thank you so much to everyone, including Toku Hero, with a $20 donation with no comment. And I'm sorry to do this to you while you're trying to focus, but Hockey Babbler sent in $5 saying, "Do I want to hear some Coconut Mall? Heck yeah, I do." and then entice me to
Go-
at least hum
you
a few
have
bars.
plenty of time.
Dun, 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 dun. Thank
You
so
just
much
been
for the
coconut
video.
mauled.
Share this stream with all your friends to coconut maul them.
Joker, you chose this
I
couch.
did. I have no regrets. Question.
Technically, you didn't choose me.
Specifically
That just kind of
asked for
happened.
I did specifically ask. My original commentators were unable to make it, and MP still is a very good friend of mine. And
For now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes at the end
you
of
know,
this.
it honestly, it could be going a lot worse. So I think we're still okay. But yeah. So
Great.
big shout outs to MP for being willing to join me on the couch here, legitimately last second. Means a lot to me.
It's true. If you had eyes on the production channel, it'd be like, hey, so this is, we don't have this commentator. They aren't feeling well. But if anyone wanted to come out and chill, and MP's like, I can do it 9 times.
Put me in, coach.
Yes, that verbiage exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna see if we can. If I don't win this fight, I believe I can still replay the boss fight. I will double check, and we'll continue on just because I don't want to continue to drag down. But I think we should be. We hopefully will be okay here coming up soon.
I like the Rusty Razor having the chain chomp like effect of giving you that extra boost
the
while it's
melee
being
weapons
used.
do actually have a boost effect, and we can use those if we pick up a melee weapon and we run over a boost. We can actually use that to our benefit and kind of double stack the boosts that we get. The one from the lunge of the melee attack, and then the one from the actual boost pad. So that can be very, very handy in building up some extra time and space. Meanwhile, we're finally in first place with a decent lead, and we've got a health transfuser. So we should be set to continue on and not have to worry. We are going to unfortunately be overestimate, but I will go as fast as I can here to make sure that we are not holding anybody else behind. As we have Painbow Road, then we have one final arena fight, which is a kind of a every person for themselves arena fight, and then we have the final boss fight. So we're coming up on the end here fairly soon, as long as everything cooperates in the final arena fight.
Look, my friend, I will pull the curtain back a little bit. Chad is enjoying themselves. The last run of the evening is me and another staff member. You're good. Run your races. Please continue having fun. I do also want to tell people that we have several other open incentives, including 2 bid wars for the Zelda Trilogy run tomorrow that currently don't have any bids put towards them. So if you want to help name a file for Zelda 1 or Zelda 2, those are both 8-character maximums, and you can get your donations in for those, Lonk, Princess, Bingus, whatever you're
Bingus
feeling.
is good. I also have another suggestion if chat wishes to hear it. Hoggers.
Go on. I was thinking
Hoggers
either
is lovely.
Hoggers or Yag.
Or Yag.
I
Yag
wasn't
is
sure
also
where
very
Yag is
you
a
were
good one
going.
too.
I'm just saying, like there's a few options that you can choose, chat.
They're not wrong, chat.
There's also plenty of time for more really funny words to be mentioned between now and then that you can choose to donate and select
Yeah,
that as
but
a name.
then you get to miss out on either Bingus, Yag, or Hoggers. Like,
I'm a huge
I'm a
Bingus
big
enjoyer
Bingus
myself.
I mean, there's multiple games in the Zelda Trilogy run.
3 of them, in fact.
Spread out your joy.
that's
Exactly.
3. That's Bingus, Hoggers, and Yag. 3 games, 3 names. Perfect.
Perfect. We did it.
You heard it here first.
Okay, we've made it out of Painbow Road, and we are finally onto the final arena fight. This is, like I said, the last person standing arena fight here in Pocket Dreamfield. This one can get a little sketchy sometimes. If I get hit by a shotgun from an opponent, I will lose most of my health bar, and I'll have to play very safe. There's also skeletons that will hang out here that we can run over for blood droplets, which is not a bad idea. Like, having some extra speed is always nice. But one of the skeletons on each side has a hunter rifle, and will deal a lot of damage to us like that. I took about half my health bar from somebody, so we now have to really be careful. So I'm going to be using the mini-map very extensively to try to avoid as many people as I can. And at least until things kind of even out and we're able to take a few people down.
A time-honored tradition in competitive kart racing battles.
Sorry, baby Margot. But yeah, we've seemed to outlast enough that we're already down to 2 people. So the AI being very aggressive actually was beneficial for us there.
Personally, I think you should be able to just run people over with your hog.
You'd think so. Oh, I gotta avoid that rifle. Okay, good. Yes.
You mean in the video game, right?
Oh no.
Okay, just making sure.
We'll neither confirm nor deny.
I'm going to avoid.
Again, I am from the south, so yeah, I get it.
Beast Razor is fine. I'm not a big fan of the melee weapons, but there we go. All right, we made it. We made it out.
You even did a sick drift during that.
All right, so we are approaching the final boss fight. For this first section, we're actually going to be presented with an option here. We refuse in order to get to the final boss fight. Now, there is a section here at the very beginning. I will need a little bit of focus time, especially with the giant boar. And this is unlike anything you've ever seen in a kart racing game, and you will see why I need the focus time here as we get rolling. I'm actually almost out of it. That was the worst part. Actually, that was the worst part. Oh my goodness. No, I hit an extra melee in there. So, this is a platforming section. As I mentioned earlier, the melee weapons do give us a lunge, and we have to time the lunges with the enemies off the different platforms in order to make it to the final fight. So it can get very, very sketchy, especially with the boar and the lack of handling here.
Yeah, this is Sonic Lightspeed dashing.
This is Sonic the Hog.
Well, we are in a nightmare, so maybe it's a werehog.
Don't remind me of that game.
It's right there.
Okay.
We should be okay. The 2 areas with the flying enemies are the worst because it's very hard to see the aiming dots over the moon in the background.
Okay, but what if that worked?
Right? I was so hoping something
I've been
amazing
able
would
to
come of
save
that.
a couple of runs by falling off, but still being able to target it. Unfortunately, if I'm just under the platform, there's no way to clip through. But hey, 3rd time's the charm. We'll make it through. We'll make it to the second phase here.
This part is sick as heck anyway.
Lilith,
I don't
please
mind
change
watching
that.
it.
Okay, I think.
I imagine this is the kind of music that some people were expecting would be on all the tracks, but I appreciate that this is just for this section. It really makes it
this
different.
is great boss music. It's very, foreboding, ominous, and very intense. Okay. 1, 2, oh boy. My controller is starting to act up. Okay, we made that one. And we should be clear here.
Yeah, you got it with a good angle, too.
There we go, yeah. That is the one section that having the not great handling is actually helpful. Alright, we made it through.
We're in there.
And now this is where the flashing lights and the spinny warning comes into play, because this is what we're doing here. We're facing off against Miralodia, and we are doing the brake drifting, as I've mentioned earlier, with a little bit of hops thrown in, but then we are also attacking with the upgraded sword. The upgraded sword takes 5 Aether Vials to use to emit that beam, which is why we're doing the brake boosting here, the brake drifts. Okay, can you actually hit instead of like turning around immediately, please and thank you. So we are trying to hit Miralodia as soon as she spawns, or as soon as she gets in our range. Second phase of the fight here, she brings in a sniper, and there is a specific health amount that we need to get him to for her to spawn back in. And once that happens, she will spawn back in just like this, and then we can just ignore the sniper and continue to go after her. Time will be coming up here fairly soon. As soon as I can see the last little cutscene, I will let you know. Time is coming up here. And time. Woo! All right.
Jeez.
Nicely done.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what having the Moonlight Greatsword feels like in Souls games.
I was
So
about to say, like any self-respecting Souls game, it's got a Moonlight Greatsword.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that is a perfect example of the marathon RNG. But I'm what the hog
doing?
But we made it. We did it. That is Nightmare Kart. Hoggers %. You donated for it. You donated to put me into my misery, so I greatly appreciate every one of you.
You made that as hard on yourself as possible, and chat just enabled
fair.
you.
Also, say hello to the Dream Watchers. They're just little guys.
Hi, Dream Watchers.
They're just little guys.
They're just some little guys.
Yeah.
We love our little guys around here.
But yeah, that is Nightmare Kart. Again, regame. Steam and Itch.io. Go get it. Go play it. It's my favorite game of 2024. One of my top 5 games of all time. Lots of replayability if you like kart racer games. Continuing to get updated. Like I said, there's going to be DLC, so that means new tracks, new karts, new characters, new music, and it's online play will be coming soon. There's a bunch of great achievements. This game is fantastic. So I'm so glad that I was able to show it off here during the Tricks and Treats block. MP, do you want to pitch anything? Do you want to share anything here?
Just doubly so. Definitely check this game out on itch and Steam. You can also just shout outs to Lilith in general. She's available on a lot of social media as Botster, and that's with a 0 instead of an O. Shout outs to Hubs and Ice Blue, who Valen told me to help out with this marathon. I've been having a genuinely good time so far. I'm just really happy that I get to be here, help raise money for charity in the way that I know how to do best. And thank you, j0kerr, for entertaining the thought of me being here. I hope that this does not negatively impact our
all.
friendship.
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you, T, for rolling with it. It's been a lot of fun.
I
so thank you.
appreciate you being here. You can find me on Twitch. It's just j0kerr. I am on Blue Sky as well. It's j0kerr.bluesky or bsky.social, whatever it is. I've been working on Nightmare Kart a lot. We'll probably be working on it here more in the future. I'm also cooking a couple of different potential speedrun type games for the future also. Just planning on having a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. Once again, Hoggers was a literal last second donation incentive idea because the refuse ending got accepted before it was even announced. So that's thank you to everybody who was on top of that as you were donating. So coming up last second to say, hey, I have this extra incentive cell. Thank you for accepting it, and thank you for donating for it, everybody. Have a great rest of the night, and I'll see you Sunday as well. I'll be behind the scenes here.
Fantastic. Thank you both, j0kerr, and I'm going to say Empire Ship. I know that's like saying your government, but MP, thank you both. Always entertaining. A pleasure to be your friend and to be part of that run. Speaking of entertaining, we have more entertaining stuff coming up for you very soon. First, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with our last run of the evening. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Prevent-a-Thon 4, running live on twitch.tv/Prevent-a-Thon. You're probably watching us from there, but if by any chance you're not, come by, say hi, join the chat, get involved. You know, we are just hanging out here, having lots of fun, and raising an amazing amount of money for a fantastic and worthy charity, Little Warriors. Currently, we have raised $2,178 Canadian. So thank you so much for any part you've had to play in that. We appreciate it more than we can possibly say. Let's take a step back a moment. You heard me talk about Little Warriors. Maybe you haven't been here. Maybe you joined us at some point during this evening, haven't been with us for the couple of days of content we've had so far. Let me tell you a little bit about Little Warriors. They were granted charitable status in February 2007, and Little Warriors as an organization opened its doors March 5th, 2008. Since that time, a team of dedicated volunteers and staff have worked to create an action-based charitable organization to bring awareness, offer prevention education, and treatment for children, adolescents, and families who have experienced child sexual abuse. So, if that hits something for you, if you know people who have been through those situations, I don't know someone personally, or rather, I don't know children who've been through that. I certainly do know people whose lives have been shaped by child sexual abuse, but even just enough to know that my own nephew and nieces have had some situations where they have dealt with neglect and abuse through people who are thankfully no longer in their lives, but the way that can shape a child's growth and development is something that hits so deeply for me. So it is extremely meaningful for me to be able to contribute to this event in this small way by being the voice of the event for a few hours, and the rest of the ways that Cell and other people have empowered me to do. So I appreciate that immensely. That all said, we still have more fantastic gaming content for you as well. So we are going to shift gears and get that ready in just a moment, and we'll be right back with you.